Hey everybody, welcome back to Clipboard Cars. Today we have this 2022 Hyundai Veloster N, and we're also going to talk about, is this really a hidden bargain for the performance market? In this video, we're going to cover 5 exterior features as well as 5 interior features. We'll show you a wide open view of the car, then we'll take it for a drive, give you our thoughts and opinions on the driving experience. The first exterior feature I want to cover is the fact that this car is unique in the fact that it has one door on this side of the car. Let's go around to this side because it gets different. It's a whole different side profile because we have 2 doors on this side. And yes, this is an actual door. The handle's right here, opens right up. The next exterior feature I want to cover are the red accents that go along the entire bottom perimeter of the vehicle. Just really lets everybody know I've got a race car. The next exterior detail I want to cover are the daytime running lights. They look super aggressive in the rear view mirror of another car. Just happy that Hyundai was able to add it to a car like this with a price tag that it has. So coming around to the back, an exterior feature I want to cover is the rear spoiler. They really decided to hit the drawing board. There's a lot of styling going on here. It might be a little overstyled to some people, but I think it fits the profile of the Veloster perfectly. All right, the last feature I want to talk about on the exterior is the rear diffuser and exhaust area. You got 2 Cannon style exhaust tips out here, as well as these fun fins out here that align the bottom. Not exactly sure how much airflow it's actually directing, but it does look cool here on the Veloster. The first thing I want to talk about are the seats that Hyundai put in this car. These are super sporty, extremely bolstered. I am just shocked that they put these in a car. Again, we're talking like a starting price tag of like 33 grand. This is really top-notch stuff as far as seats go. The next interior feature I want to cover is the 8-inch touchscreen here in the center console. It is pretty cool. It's got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It also has the Hyundai N performance pages where you can do all the adjustments for throttle response, engine response, braking, transmission shifts, all that kind of stuff. Can all be controlled right from that infotainment system. The next thing I want to cover is actually back to the seats because they have these N badges in the headrest area and they actually light up when you unlock the car and you fire it up. The next thing I want to cover on the interior is the steering wheel itself. It's very sporty. It's got a good grip for the 10 and 2. It also has a big blue drive mode button, and then you got another button over here that has a checkered flag on it. That actually hits a button where you can set it as your presets. So if you're just on the road driving through regular traffic and then you get to a racetrack and you want to hit this button that has all your presets dialed in to get this car ready for the track, all you have to do is hit that one button, you're good to go. The last feature I want to cover for the interior are the seat belts. They're a blue trim design meant to let you know that I got the N edition. This last portion I want to cover isn't necessarily an exterior feature, more of a tip, if you will. When we went to go open the rear trunk for this car, we couldn't figure out how to do it at all. And it took a little bit of a Google search and we figured out there's a little button that sits right under here. You hit that button and it's electronically actuated, and then you can open the trunk, which is quite large. All right, so we are driving the Veloster N. It is a special kind of car with a lot of weird design features to it, but I'm happy it exists. The Veloster N was actually manufactured from 2019 to 2022, giving it a 4-year manufacturing run, and I think that was enough years for this thing. It does feel special to drive. I feel like the horsepower figures are a bit overstated for what this is, at least from what I feel when I'm driving it. The horsepower is at 275, and then it has a torque rating of 260 foot-pounds. I try to lean into it. It's quick, but for some reason it just doesn't like to translate to me. Like it almost feels numb as far as the acceleration rate. It's kind of hard to describe. When you're driving a BMW or a Mini, like when you floor it, like you feel it translate straight through the seat as far as when the acceleration hits. This, for some reason, it just feels kind of dull, but neither here nor there. You are going fast enough to get pulled over, that's for sure. So to go along with those horsepower and torque figures, the actual weight of this vehicle, since we're talking about a hot hatch, weight is a very important figure. This comes in at 3,106 pounds, and that's before the driver is in it, so, you know, add another 200 or so pounds depending on how big of a person you are. So the 0 to 60 rating on this car, if you opt it with the automatic transmission, is 4.8 seconds. And then if you have the manual transmission, it's going to be about 5.1 to 5.2, depending how good you are at shifting. Which segues into the next thing. Again, you can get this car in 2 different configurations for a transmission. You can get a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. When it comes to fuel economy, because again, when you're shopping for a hot hatch, you want a cool, fun performance car, but you're also buying it because you're looking for, you know, a good economy car to get around town in for a daily driver. This thing comes in at about 25 miles per gallon, as well as if you're on the highway, I've seen it up into the low 30s. So it is a pretty good car for daily commutes. When you look at this car from the outside, you're probably going to think the visibility is really bad. And I'll be honest, the rear view mirror looking out the back window is a lot better than I thought it would be. It's actually very clear. You can see everything going on behind you. Side vision, that's good. The mirrors are good. A lot of things are pretty good about this. One thing that's kind of not so good is the backup camera. It's not a very clear image, but it's good enough to show you where you're backing up. Sitting on the interior of this car, it is pretty well laid out. There is a lot of hard plastics. You can definitely see where the budget economy comes in for a car like this. Looking around, you'll have the center console that tends to get in the way when you're shifting, just depends on how long your forearms are. Otherwise, you've got 2 good-sized cup holders, you've got 2 USB charging ports, you've got a 12-volt cigarette lighter. All your climate controls are hard buttons. You've got hard buttons for radio and media stuff like that. Again, you've got the 8-inch touchscreen that has a lot of different features to it, including Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Your gauge cluster is clear as day for a driver. You've got your speedo on one side, you've got your RPMs on the other. When you're looking at the steering wheel though, it's very easy to navigate. You've got your lane keep assist, cruise control, menu button, and then off to the side you have your blind spot monitoring where you can turn that on and off as well. You've got your drive mode selection button, your preset track button. The quirky thing off to the left here that I have is that you got the 2 window switches for the front windows, and then again you've got a blank area where there would be a passenger rear driver seat switch, and then the actual rear passenger side has its own window switch. Kind of funny to see that there like that. Overall though, it is a good seating feel. These seats are very sporty. They put you right where you want to be as far as being hunkered down, ready to drive. Yeah, this interior is pretty well laid out. I am 6'3". I fit perfectly in here. The seat actually has a lot more adjustment to go further back. I actually do fit in the back seats as well. The rear trunk space is really good. There's a lot of space back there with the seats folded up. And then if you decide to fold the seats down in the back, like there is a lot of space back there if you got to haul a lot of stuff. When you're looking at this car from the outside, you'll see it has really cool red brake calipers, and it looks like it's got a really performance-oriented brake package. The front has 13.6-inch discs, and the rear has 12.4-inch discs. The actual brakes themselves are developed internally at Hyundai, so I don't really know too much about the specs. The only thing I can really do is stab the brakes, which I can't do right now because I've got a car right behind me, but we'll get to that in a second. When this car came out in 2022, the starting price tag was $33,300-ish. And then sometimes you had dealers do a markup on it since it was the N model. Nowadays, you can pick up a 2019 or earlier one with higher miles. You can pick them up for about 12 grand. Or if you want a good quality version with the latest year, like a 2022, you'll be looking in the low 20s to buy one of these cars with low mileage and just well taken care of. So when you're looking at a Veloster N, you can really see the bargain that this car turns out to be when you start to cross shop what this thing was competing against. So Volkswagen GTI, Volkswagen Jetta GLI, Ford Focus ST, maybe the RS. The RS is kind of in a different league, but the Mini Cooper S. Overall, like, there's some pretty good performance cars that this thing competes against. And again, if you can pick one of these up for about 15 to 18 grand for a half decent one, that's not bad for a track car. If you do decide to shop for one of these, there are some common problems that have been noted about these. The first one being the fuel pump failure. There was a software glitch when these came out. There has been a recall issued by Hyundai that you bring it back in and they will reflash the system with a firmware update, and then it solves that issue. However, if whoever's had this car long enough didn't get the recall done, it may burn out the pump before they're able to flash it. It's also been noted that the power steering tends to fail for whatever reason. There hasn't been a real diagnosis as to what causes that, but it's just a fail point. I wouldn't say every one of these cars has that issue, but it's been noted enough times by owners that it could be something you want to look at when you're shopping for one. The other thing is similar to anything like a Mopar, these cars have dead batteries for whatever reason. If you let them sit for a few days, there's something that drains it. I couldn't explain it to you. These cars have a lot of electronics these days. Batteries tend to suffer. Some owners have actually pointed out that this car will randomly just go into limp mode at the worst possible time. So if you're trying to turn left in front of traffic and it just decides to go into limp mode for whatever reason, that's terrible. Another thing to consider is that owners have also reported that the blind spot monitoring system doesn't work as accurately as you would hope. I mean, honestly, I almost never rely on a blind spot monitor system in any vehicle. I always make sure I have the mirrors, or I put in my own little blind spot mirrors. Do with that information what you will. Always check your mirrors when you're merging. The last common issue actually pertains to the automatic transmission, and that is that the oil pump, for whatever reason, just dies. There is a recall that Hyundai put out on that, so again, if you're shopping for one of these, make sure you just see that all the recalls were done with it, just like you would any other car that you're shopping for. Do a little brake test here coming over this hill. Ooh, yeah, the brakes are good. Yeah, the brakes are super good. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to Clipboard Cars. Hope you enjoyed this video on the Hyundai Veloster N. This car is actually a lot of fun to drive. It's always fun when you get a manual hot hatch car and you're on some windy roads. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, drop a comment down below. What do you think is a good bargain hot hatch car at, I'd say, sub $20,000? Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear it.